So right now, the news about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is everywhere again. The American veterans of Igbo descent, also known as AVID, have come out strongly to speak on his trial, calling it a judicial travesty, and even saying that justice itself is now on trial in Nigeria. My people, this statement is not a small one. It is deep. It simply means they believe what is going on in Kanu's court case is no longer about him alone, but about the fairness of the whole judicial system in Nigeria. Please, before we go further, if you are following this story closely and you want to keep getting real updates like this, kindly like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. Now, back to the matter. AVID made it clear that the way Nnamdi Kanu's case is being handled does not follow the law as it should. They said the government is still prosecuting him under a law that is no longer valid. They mentioned something very specific, that the old Terrorism Prevention Act of 2013 has already been replaced by a newer law called the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act of 2022. So they are asking a big question. Why is the court still using a repealed law to try someone? That, they say, is a major breach of justice. They also believe that Nnamdi Kanu cannot get a fair hearing with the way things are currently going in court. Now, let me explain it in simple terms so everybody can understand. Imagine you are being accused of something and you are taken to court, but the law they are using against you is no longer active, it has been replaced. Normally, that case should not even stand. It's like trying to use an expired ID card to travel. That is the main reason AVID is calling it a judicial travesty. They believe the justice system is being twisted in this case. Please, if you understand what I'm saying, hit that like button and subscribe now, so you can always get the real breakdown of what's happening. AVID also pointed out that there are serious issues of fair hearing and jurisdiction being ignored. What this means is that before a case like this continues, the court should first confirm that it actually has the right to hear it and that the accused person, in this case, Nnamdi Kanu, is being treated fairly. They believe those steps were not properly handled. They said the court is pushing ahead with judgment before resolving those basic questions, and according to them, that is not the way justice is supposed to work. This is why they are saying justice itself is now on trial. Because if the process is not fair, then people will start losing confidence in the entire system. They even said, if Nigeria truly wants to be seen as a democratic country that respects the rule of law, then it should stop what they called this charade and release Kanu unconditionally. That's a bold call, but it shows how strongly they feel about this matter. Now, let's look at what's happening in court itself. Reports from the courtroom show that the judge has given Nnamdi Kanu another chance to defend himself. The court said that if he refuses again, they may close the case and give judgment without his defense. But Kanu, on the other hand, is standing firm. He said there is no valid law in Nigeria right now upon which they can continue his trial. He said he cannot defend himself under a repealed law. So, this is the situation. The court is saying, go ahead and defend yourself, while Kanu is saying you have no legal right to try me. This back and forth has been delaying the case for months now. Each time the case is called, either there's an argument about jurisdiction, or about his access to his legal documents, or even about his health. Please, as you are listening, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because this story is developing fast, and I'll be updating you every time something new happens. Now, one thing AVID also highlighted is that justice delayed is justice denied. They believe the constant adjournments and legal games are all part of a plan to frustrate Kanu's case and keep him longer in custody. They said if the Nigerian judiciary continues like this, it will damage the credibility of the entire justice system, not just locally but internationally. They called on international human rights organizations and global legal bodies to pay attention to what's happening. They want the United Nations and other world institutions to take notice and make sure that justice is done the right way. Let me tell you, this statement has made many people start talking again, not only in Nigeria but also among Nigerians abroad. People are asking, if a man can be tried under a repealed law, then what does that say about our legal system? It's a serious question, because every Nigerian wants to believe that if they ever find themselves in court, they will be treated fairly and within the law. So this issue is bigger than Kanu. It's about the image of Nigeria's justice system itself. Now, the court's position is that they have a valid reason to continue the trial. The government's lawyers insist that the charges are still solid. They say Kanu must face trial because there are strong allegations of terrorism and other offenses. But at the same time, his defense team keeps arguing that his arrest and trial itself violate the law, especially because he was forcefully taken from Kenya without proper extradition procedures. So you can see that it's not just a simple court case, it's a complex legal and political matter. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe right now so that when I drop new updates on this story, you'll be the first to know. Because what is happening now will definitely shape the future of legal justice in Nigeria. Many people are also talking about the emotional side of this whole issue. Kanu has been in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, for a long time now, and reports from his lawyers show that his health is not in good condition. His legal team has complained that the DSS often frustrates his preparation for court, making it difficult for him to access his documents or meet freely with his lawyers. Just a few days ago, one of his lawyers, Barrister Maxwell Opara, revealed that when he visited Kanu, he noticed how frustrated he was because the DSS allegedly denied him access to file some documents for his next court appearance. So, there's a lot of tension, both inside and outside the courtroom. This is also why groups like AVID are stepping in not just to talk, but to remind everyone that the world is watching. They said Nigeria must show that it respects its own laws. They believe if this kind of case can be handled wrongly, then tomorrow anyone can be treated the same way. So it's not about tribe or politics anymore. It's about the principles of justice and fairness. And to be honest, when you look at the reactions from people in the Southeast, many of them see this case as a symbol of the long history of unfair treatment that region has faced. Some believe that until this case is handled properly and fairly, there will always be mistrust between the region and the federal government. It's not only about one man, it's about how people feel seen and heard in their own country. Please, don't forget to like this video right now and subscribe if you haven't, so we can keep having this important conversation together. Now, another thing people are asking is this: why is this case taking so long? Some legal experts believe that part of the problem is the politics surrounding it. They say the government is trying to balance national security interests with public sentiment. But the truth is, the longer the case drags, the more people start doubting the fairness of the process. Even international observers have started watching closely because this case affects Nigeria's reputation globally. If the government is seen as ignoring court rulings or using outdated laws, it could raise questions about the rule of law in the country. And that's why AVID is urging the government to restore public confidence by following due process. So in summary of everything so far, AVID is basically saying this: Nnamdi Kanu's trial is no longer just about him. It's about justice itself in Nigeria. They want the judiciary to do the right thing, they want the government to respect the law, and they want Nigerians to open their eyes and see what's happening. Please, if you are still watching, don't forget to like this video and subscribe now. It really helps to keep this kind of real talk going so that more people can get the truth in plain language.